is 7 o'clock. Thank all the visitors and guests that we have in attendance, and look forward to conducting business for you and on your behalf tonight. At this time, I'd like to invite my good friend Pastor Mike Carr up, if he will, lead us in our invocation.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for this day. We thank you for this town and the leaders who love this town of Troutman. We just ask that you would be with us tonight, to be with those that are speaking. Allow us to keep the vision and the focus of this town to be for your glory, God. That we care about the families and the children and the schools and everybody that's involved in making this town the best that it can be. God, we pray for those who are sick and suffering and the elderly here in our community. We just ask that you would be with us as we pray in the holy name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. And again, I'd like to really thank Mike for taking the time. He's coaching some of our youth in the community in basketball. And as a favor for all of us on the board, he let them run wild the last 15 minutes of practice. So they can come pray with us. But thank you very much. This time, please stand and join me in pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item, we have adjustments to the agenda. At this time, does council have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I make a motion that we add there to our agenda for a closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318, point 11, -5, to discuss acquisition of real property.
Motion's been made for an adjustment to the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Sally. Motion's been properly made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. So moved. Brings us to the next item, approve our agenda as read and as modified.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jimmy Troutman, second by Mayor Pro Tem Ross, to approve the agenda as modified and recorded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. This time it brings us to our business spotlight. I'll turn the microphone over to Mayor Pro Tem Steve Ross.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to welcome everyone, as the mayor said, to the first meeting of the year, 2016. Look forward to a very productive year. And tonight's business spotlight is Walgreens. In 1901, Charles R. Walgreens Sr. purchased the Chicago drugstore where he had worked as a pharmacist, and that started the Walgreens chain. His energy and enthusiasm soon led to new ideas and ambitious expansion. For example, he manufactured his own line of drug products to ensure high quality and low prices. Today, Walgreens Boots Alliance is the first global pharmacy-led health and wellness enterprise. The first purpose is to help people across the world lead healthier and happier lives. Walgreens Boots Alliance was created through the combination of Walgreens Boots Alliance Boots in December 2014. This transaction brought together two leading companies with iconic brands, complementary geographic footprints, shared values, and a heritage of trusted healthcare services through pharmaceutical wholesaling and community pharmacy care dating back more than 100 years. The company, with a presence in more than 25 countries, employs over 370,000 people and is the largest retail pharmacy, health, and daily living destination in the U.S. and Europe. The company has unmatched supply chain and procurement expertise, offering customers innovative solutions and optimal efficiencies. They have a portfolio of retail and business brands, as well as an increasing global health and beauty products brands. They also have diversified and robust profit pools across the U.S., Europe, and key emerging markets. In addition, they have a unique platform for growth and development in emerging markets. Our Troutman store opened November 8th, 2013, and is located at 533 North Main Street, actually a block throw away. The Troutman store has many pharmacy services, including prescription refills and prescription transfers, and can prepare your prescription the same day for in-store pickup. They also provide services like flu shots and other vaccines. In addition, they offer 1-hour photo service to help create custom photo books, photo calendars, photo posters, and more. Lastly, they provide convenience shopping for everyday household items such as health and wellness products or beauty products. The store is managed by Brian Nance. He's been at this location since September. There are 20 employees, which includes pharmacy and front end, working at the store. The Troutman store hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the pharmacy is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And lastly, Sundays, they're open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Store Manager Nance is here. Ask him to approach the podium. If you'd like to say any words, he's welcome to do that.
I want to say thank you for giving us the recognition. It's awesome to be a part of the community. I actually grew up in Troutman, so it's kind of funny to end up back here and running the store here. So it's most of you guys probably need to know me or my family one way or the other. Find out I know Mr. Troutman over here. He knows my father. So it's good to be back in hometown and have a good feeling. Look forward to seeing you guys in the store.
Great. Before you take your seat, Brian, I'd like to present you with a certificate of recognition on behalf of the town, Troutman Town Council, town residents, and the greater Troutman community. Mayor Ronald N. Wyatt and Mayor Pro Tem T. Ross Young recognize Walgreens as the business spotlight of the month for providing pharmacy services, photo services, vaccinations, and convenient shopping for household goods, health and wellness, and beauty products to the Troutman community residents since November 8, 2013, this 14th day of January. Walgreens put up a real nice table display out there. I meant to tell Brian to bring some samples. I apologize, everyone. Maybe next time, Brian.
Hey, we got some stress balls. I know everybody needs them.
Thank you.
Little giveaways out there.
Thank you very much. That brings us to the next item on our agenda. I'll turn it over to Councilperson Judy Jablonski.
Thank you. First this evening, for those of you who have followed the vehicle at Katz, the 2003 Chevy, which they had done over, the Impala was sold at auction, Maycomb Auction in Austin, Texas on December 11th. is $6,000. The $6,000 will be used in the Automotive Technology Center on the CATS campus. Their news bulletin is available in the lobby. This evening, we're going to give attention to, in the spotlight, Troutman Elementary School. In today's economy, computer jobs outnumber students graduating into the field by 3 to 1. Computer science is foundational for every industry today, yet most schools don't teach it. At Troutman Elementary, they are trying to change that. The entire school joined in on the largest learning event in history, the Hour of Code, during Computer Education Week, December 7th through 14th in 2015. During that week, in December, I attended a computer class at Troutman Elementary School, taught by computer science teacher Jill Seitz, whose mission is to use technology to communicate ideas in new and engaging ways. In 2013, Troutman Elementary participated in the Hour of Code for the very first time. Ever since then, students have been learning basic computer programming, the skills such as computational thinking and problem solving. Computer science drives job growth and innovation throughout our economy and society. Computing occupations make up 2/3 of all projected new jobs in STEM fields, STEM standing for science, technology, engineering, and math, making computer science one of the most in-demand college degrees. And computing is used all around us and in virtually every field. It's foundational knowledge that all students need. But the majority of schools don't teach computer science. 9 in 10 parents want their child to study computer science. 1 in 4 schools teach computer programming. At Troutman Elementary, we do. TES provides access for all students, including groups who have traditionally been underrepresented. Fewer computer science graduates than 10 years ago, and half as many women. Some may think computer science is just about learning technology. Computer science is about logic, problem solving, and creativity. Technology affects every field. Every 21st century student should have a chance to learn about algorithms, how to make apps, or how the internet works. Just like they learn about the digestive system, photosynthesis, or electricity. Some may think the tech industry is desperately trying to hire your computer programmers in California. Every industry is desperately trying to hire computer programmers everywhere. At Troutman Elementary, we are committed to teaching all students the skills they need to be successful 21st century adults. You are always welcome to come for a visit and see the wonderful things happening in your neighborhood school, Troutman Elementary, where the magic is happening. And there's the address. You want to go visit, just give a call, contact Jill Seitz. She'd be more than happy to have you come and visit her classroom. Thank you.
Thank you for an exciting report, Judy. That brings us to the next item, Troutman ESC Park. At this time, we ask Justin Longino. How about Longino?
Either way.
I was close enough either way. Thank you.
Well, I saw T-Ross earlier this week and he had a regular tie on, and so I thought maybe for my regular tie, I just want to throw it off.
You are excused.
When I saw you, I thought maybe it was your evil twin.
It's just
A few updates tonight. The Park Pavilion, has gone out for bid. Thank you to everyone that's worked on getting us this far, especially to Sally Williams and the Pavilion Subcommittee. Members of the Rotary Club installed one fit station last month. Mayor Pro Tem T. Ross was out there braving the cold. It went fairly easily and looks very well done, I think. Earlier this week, several of us walked the trail and outlined where each station is going to go specifically. We're tentatively set to do a little bit of grading work this weekend on those spots. Just to sort of give a brief recap of this project, there will be 20 stations throughout the walking trail out there. Each station is different, but most will be outlined with 4x4 lumber and a fine gravel material laid down in the station area, sort of like what's pictured. They're all natural looking, as you can see on the one we installed. It looks really nice, kind of blends in well with the environment out there. And the exercises range from some simple stretches to, I think there's some pull-up bars and some of these complicated looking things. It should be a great addition once it's done. Sprint to Spring is right around the corner. This year the annual race will be on March 5th. Anyone interested in participating can go to racesonline.com/events/sprint-into-spring. And anyone interested in being a sponsor can contact me. Wendy's night this month is January 25th, the same night as the Parks and Rec meeting. So come see what Parks and Rec has going on and then go enjoy some food at Wendy's. It's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., 20% of all dine-in and carry-out proceeds benefit Troutman ESC Park. Any questions?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item we have on the agenda is the J. Hoyt Hayes Memorial Troutman Library. At this time, I'd ask Julie Moore to come forward.
Good evening. We have some exciting news to share for the library. Rebecca Lopez and I had applied for a Lowe's hometown grant through Lowe's Charitable and Educational Foundation. And we received official notification that we have received the $6,100 grant, which will allow us to have a mobile smartboard in the library. We're going to be able to use the mobile smartboard in conjunction with the Career and Technology Lab that we currently have going on, but it'll also allow us to add additional programming. One of the things Rebecca has planned is a career and college prep program. That's going to be a monthly program starting this month. This month we'll have cats will come to talk to the kids about options for while they're in high school to get some training. There's also going to be, Lowe's is going to come speak 1 month. Colonel Van Wheat from West Iredell High School is going to speak 1 month about military options. NASCAR techs coming 1 month. Mitchell Community College and Goodwill. So we'll give tweens and teens a well-rounded variety of options that they have to further their education or career paths once they graduate. We also will be able to use the smartboard in conjunction with our Makerspace programs, which we're expanding, and Rebecca's going to be doing some Tech Tuesday programs. We'll be integrating STEAM, which similar to STEM, STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And that's really big in the schools right now, so we'll be introducing that to the community. As you all know, I'm going to be leaving and going to the main library. This will be my last official meeting with you all. I'll be taking over as the Youth Services Manager on Tuesday, and I'm excited to announce that Rebecca Lopez is my replacement as the Troutman Branch Manager. So we're currently, her position's being advertised. We'll interview together to select her replacement. Some of the recent programs we've had going on at the library are Makerspace Mystery Bag Challenge. The kids were each given a bag with a variety of materials, and they created a pom-pom launcher. And so if you go on the Iredell County Public Library Facebook page, you can see some pictures of the kids creating their launcher, and then also how far they launched their pom-poms. So some were really close to the tape, and some were quite far down the hallway, so that was exciting. Yesterday we had a program called the Popcorn Olympics. Next Tuesday is National Popcorn Day. So in honor of that, we have the kids do a variety of programs of challenges with popcorn, 7 to be exact, and the top 3 winners received a medal and a bag of popcorn from Race City Popcorn. our upcoming programs are going to be a spelling bee, so all of you who would like to participate, we have opportunities for kids, teens, and adults with some great prizes. That'll be Tuesday, January 19th at 5:30, and then we'll be, wanting to get the date out there for our 3rd annual Community Day event. That'll be Saturday, May 21st from noon to 4 p.m. And we're really excited about that. We're gonna be doing some different things like than we have the past 2 years, but also some similar book sales and tile fundraisers and raffle tickets and such. And finally, I'd like to invite all of you to the Troutman Friends of the Library quarterly meeting, which will be next Thursday, January 21st at 6 p.m. at the Troutman Library. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay.
At this time, we recognize Steve Rimmer with Friends of the Library.
First of all, I'd like to, for those who don't know, this young lady here is Rebecca Lopez. She is now the Troutman branch manager. So everybody give her a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to present Julie Moore with a certificate of appreciation, and it reads as follows. This award is presented to Julie Moore in recognition of her steadfast leadership and sincerest desire to promote the J. Hoyt Hayes Memorial Troutman Library to the highest community expectations. Given on this 14th day of January in the year 2016, Troutman Friends of the Library. Here you go. Thank you.
At this point, brings us next item. Is there any comments from any of our visitors or guests? You have up to 3 minutes to speak. Hearing none, we'll move.
Oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you short.
Hello.
Please state your name for the record and the microphone.
My name is Jessica Hamrick. I live in Falls Cove community here in Troutman. I live there with my husband and my 3 sons, elementary ages 11, 7, and 6. We have built there in 2014. We've lived in our home for about 7 months. I'm here tonight to represent our family and also our neighbors, to thank the council, the sheriff, and the police officers on their response, their rather quick response to our concerns about the speeding traffic in our neighborhood. Been very impressed with how quickly I've gotten emails, responded back, implementing the speed radar at the front of the property. I know that in and of itself is a huge effort to get that thing in and out of there. Erecting more speed limit signs has been very effective. I myself have seen the awareness go up. As you guys probably know, there's a lot of construction going on in our neighborhood, which brings in a lot of traffic. And I think a lot of it has to do with just complacency. I think you get used to being in a neighborhood and you get used to your normal drive and you just speed up a little bit. So I think increasing that awareness for everybody in the community has really helped. So we just really appreciate the effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica, for taking the time to come and let your thoughts be known. And as with you, I would also like, as the town board, would like to thank our police for quick response once they was made aware that there was an issue there. Anybody else would like to make any comments? Seeing none, at this time we'll move to the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine to the town council and will be approved with one swift motion and vote. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a member of council or mayor so request, in which event we will remove the item from the consent agenda and consider it as the first item under new business. Having said that, does any town board member see any item on the consent agenda that they feel needs to be moved? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to as to the minutes of agenda briefing on December 7th, 2015. Also, the next item, minutes of regular meeting of December 10th, 2015. Also, the minutes of a special meeting held on January 4th, 2016. And also, the last item, consider North Carolina's Governor Crime Commission grant applications that police chief Sells has made us aware. A motion to accept.
Second.
Motion's been made by Mayor Pro Tem T. Ross Young. Is there a second?
Second.
I heard Judy first. Judy Jablonski is our official second of record. Motion's properly been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Brings us to new business. Number 14, text amendment to the Unified Development Ordinance regarding security quarters for storage buildings. At this time, I am making you aware, we're holding a public hearing to consider to consider this text amendment. Is there any person in the audience that would like to speak under the public hearing? Hearing none, town staff like to speak.
The text amendment would allow one security or caretaker's quarters integrated into a project in both the light and heavy industrial districts for added security. Planning board and staff recommend this text amendment as presented.
Any questions or comments from anybody on town council? Hearing none, at this time we consider adoption of statement of consistency.
Be sure to close public hearing.
Oh, good, thank you. First mistake of the night. We have to now close the public hearing so we can get on with real business. The public hearing is now closed. Now we will consider adoption of statement of consistency. Judy Jablonski so moves. Is there a second?
Well,
You
Second.
want me to read it?
yeah, for the record, the state's very funny about it, so please.
Okay, for the record, read.
I make a motion that TA 16-01 is consistent with adopted town plans because the amendment will allow for inclusion of caretakers' quarters into the design of any storage facilities. The amendment is reasonable and in the public interest because the addition of an on-site tenant will provide an additional level of security to amenity storage users and their belongings.
Motion's been properly made and read. Is there still a second? Sally Williams is the second of record. Motion's been properly made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Passes unanimous. Now we consider adoption of ordinance 01-16 titled an ordinance amending the Town of Troutman Unified Development Ordinance.
Make the motion that we adopt said ordinance 01-16 as presented by town staff.
Motion's been made to accept Council Member Paul Hinkle. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem T. Ross Young. Motion's properly made and seconded. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Motion passes unanimous. Moves us to the next item we have on our agenda. Consider approval to upsize water line at charter school site. I now refer to Town Manager Annabelle.
Thank you, Mayor. In order to get water to the school, which is located at Cross Tie Road and Highway 21, the school plans to connect to our existing 8-inch line with an 8-inch line and a 6-inch line. Our master plan calls for upsizing water lines in that area. So the question before you tonight is whether you would like to upsize a small segment of line that is currently slated to be 8-inch and built by the school to 12 or 16-inch to better serve our needs in the future. The advantage of upsizing the line now is that we pay for only the cost of materials, we don't pay for the labor. And on Monday, when I first handed you the prices, we all were in a bit of shock when we saw that 16-inch line was $165,000. They've since revisited, our engineers have revisited those numbers, and I'm happy to inform you, it's down $100,000. So it's $65,000 approximately, rather than $165,000. Having said that, however, our engineer recommends that we go with 12-inch line, which is $17,000, I think, $17,011. He doesn't believe we're going to need 16-inch line anytime soon. He thinks we have plenty of capacity in the 12-inch line if we go with that. So staff recommends approval of upsizing to 12-inch line.
Seeing that we have a recommendation from staff on the 12-inch line, is there a motion that we approve the recommendation of staff?
I'll make that motion. We approve staff's recommendation.
Motion was made, and is there a second to that? Motion was made and seconded. On to the question. Any questions to that? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none. Motion passes. And I vote to the mayor.
Moves us to our next item on the agenda, consider approval of contract agreement for Parks and Recreation Department Services. Again, turn it over to Town Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, Parks and Rec Department has pretty much been handled by our planning director, Erica Martin. As growth and development has increased, her responsibilities in planning services has increased as well. Justin Longino serves as chairman of the Parks and Rec Committee. He has, I think, for a couple of years, and we've discussed hiring him as a part-time temporary employee. The term limit would be from now until June 30th. The contract price is $5,200, which is the amount we budgeted for interns, which we didn't hire for this year. This would alleviate a significant amount of workload that Erica has experienced while giving us focused management of our Parks and Rec Department and services. So staff recommends approval of the contract with Justin Longino. It's been prepared by our attorney, Gary Thomas, reviewed by Mr. Longino and town staff.
Any questions or comments from town board?
I didn't see anything in there about Justin having to wear a bow tie.
We can add,
You specifically asked for that, so.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the contract as presented by staff.
Second.
Motion made by Sally Williams, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ross. Is appropriate. Is there any discussion on the current motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Moves us to the next item we have, consider approval of town policy titled General Procedures for Town Appointed Boards and Committees. Policy number 46, again, Town Manager M. Bailey.
thank you, Mayor. What this policy does is combine two existing policies and add an attendance requirement for boards and committee members. And it gives the council the option to remove an appointee from a board or committee if they miss 3 consecutive meetings, basically without a good excuse.
Any discussion from the town board or questions? Hearing, go ahead.
Are we sure we wanna give them 3 chances, or we'll cut that to 2?
That's up to you.
I think 3 is sufficient. That's what we've been doing with committees.
Well, I've been on some that they never show up, and we don't do anything, we need this, no matter what, I mean, they
Well,
have.
we've had some from the Park and Rec, committee, and Kim contacts them after the 3rd consecutive meeting. and finds out what's going on with them, and they have a valid reason why.
Sorry, Al. It's all good. It's cold out there, let her walk around.
Can we get her?
She's leaving.
Chase her out of here.
Is anybody in the room allergic to cats?
I am.
I apologize for the interruption by our mascot.
Sneaks out the back, comes in
Any
the
more
front.
discussion or motion from the town board?
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we adopt the policy, general procedures for town-appointed boards and committees as presented by staff.
I'll second.
Motion made by Paul Hinkle, seconded by Jimmy Troutman, that we accept, the new policy as, number 46 as read by town staff. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Moves us to our next item, consider board appointments to the ABC board. Before we get, into that real in depth, to make everyone in attendance aware, we appointed 3 board members last month, and we have 2 open slots available. And I have to say, from talking to veteran board members, specifically Paul Hinkle, we've had more applications for people to serve on this board than any committee we've ever asked for. I hope that's the case.
They want the free sample. They want the free samples.
I hope that's a good sign. But we do genuinely thank everyone for their time and interest in making us aware that they would like to serve. At this time, we do have 2 members for 1-year terms. I'll leave it to you all's pleasure to do it one at a time or both, by 2 names and vote accordingly. I'll entertain a motion for appointments.
Before you do that, I was made aware today that one more person had, filled out an application, but I don't see it in here. Anybody seen it?
Yes,
Who's that?
I believe-
Wes.
It was at your place,
Should be any
and all those papers I handed in.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
This is the one that was actually handed in on Monday.
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right. You had me worried there for a minute. I thought there was someone else. In addition, okay.
I was just made aware of that today.
At this time, I entertain a motion.
I would like to make a motion, Mr. Mayor, that we appoint for 1-year terms, Lathan Kitzinger and Wes Edmiston for membership on the ABC Board of Troutman.
I second that.
Motion's been made by Paul Hinkle, seconded by Judy Jablonski, that we add for 1-year terms Lathan Getzinger and Wesley Edmiston as 1-year terms to the ABC Board. Is there any discussion?
There was two spots, is that right? And they're both inside.
They look,
One's inside, one's outside.
Well, he's ETJ, yeah, Lane's ETJ, but
I don't think that,
It doesn't matter on that. Okay.
Mayor, this fulfills the current 5 slots that we have. Is that correct?
that the board chose to have a 5-member board. Yes, this will complete the board. We still have some business to do with that board, but it would complete the open seats. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to the next item, designation of a chairman of the board.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Is that something that we choose, or the board members not choose that among themselves?
We choose.
Okay.
Being it is, starting. We can choose later to give up that authority.
And we're choosing from the five that we
We are choosing from the five, correct.
Do we ever, Dan, do we ever actually give up the authority? The way I read the statute, we continually appoint the chairman, we start and continue to appoint the chairman. Or is that something we
yeah.
can advocate?
I'm not sure, and I didn't bring my materials with me tonight. I can check and send you out an email tomorrow, but I'm not sure.
When I read over it, I didn't remember seeing where we could, but perhaps it's in there somewhere and I just didn't see it.
And to confirm, Mayor Pro Tem's question, this is of one of the five that we have appointed. Is there a nomination or a recommendation?
Another question. Is Layton not chairman of the, planning board?
Yes, he is.
Can he be on both boards?
He said he could be on both boards. He's retired. He could handle both boards, but, if necessary, he would resign from P and Z if that be the wish of council.
No.
I don't have any problem with it. I just didn't know if there was
Is it okay with
some
you?
reason that he couldn't be.
He is allowed to serve in both capacities, correct?
Correct.
You need a motion? I move that we appoint these two gentlemen.
No, that board's already handled. We need a chairman.
Oh, chairman. I would recommend Layton.
I second it.
Is your recommendation a motion?
My recommendation is a motion that we,
Jimmy Troutman made the motion, seconded by Judy Javonsky, that Lathan Singer be the chairman. Is there any discussion?
Is there a term to that chairmanship?
Here again, I don't.
His seat
didn't
is
look.
1 year. Therefore, that's all it can be. Once his seat's up, then it's up to us to reappoint, whether it be him back and then go through the process for a longer term. Well, we can't do a longer term, because it was two ones, 2 twos, and a 3.
But then if he's reappointed, just the sake of example, then it'll be 3 years after that.
That's correct. That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
as long as they're making money.
And also my understanding is that since he is chairman, that, again, I'll use just the assumption that he's reappointed, we would still have to either reappoint him as chairman or someone else that's on the board if we so elect to do.
Yes, sir. And just to make sure that everyone out there heard the discussion, Councilman Hinkle correctly stated, in this ABC board being appointed, we had 1 3-year seat, 2 2-year seats, and 2 1-year seats. Once these seats come up, and then we decide that person or someone else, they then become 3-year seats and rotate in a cycle of 3 years, just so that all of you all know. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next thing we need to consider, is establishment of term limits. My personal thoughts as you all ponder, and of course, may, state your own, is with us beginning this board, town staff will have to help us word it so that it comes into play. It seems to be that most boards, if they do have a policy, that it is 2 terms. My only issue with us stating that tonight is being some of these are 1 and 2 and 3 year, or 1 and 2 year seats, that if we limit it to 2 terms, they're not getting the full term service, would be my only caution. I don't know if town staff has an opinion, if it's better that we can table this part and then bring it up once the cycle of seats start serving in their entirety, or if you would prefer we do that with some caveat tonight, if we're going to even have it.
You can also limit it just to years. So for instance, you could say that no person shall serve more than 6 years, and that would take care of the same thing, but without having to deal with terms.
All right, let's say you have one of the gentlemen 1 year tonight. He's reappointed one time, so you're up to 4 years now. If he's reappointed the second time, then you're gonna be up to 7 years.
I thought, is he a two year or 3 year?
Well, I'm saying you start off 1 year and then reappointed, it'd be 3 and 3.
He would have to resign at the end of, if it's 6 years, he would simply have to resign at the end of the 6 years.
I'd
You
go
could
do a
appoint him.
maximum of 7 then, that way no one has to resign.
For math purposes, asking council, if we say had a term limit of 2 complete 3-year terms max, that way any portion thereof is fine.
You can, but I think that causes a little bit of confusion when you got people having 1 year and 2 year terms. That was why I was suggesting just simply say a number of years is the term.
If we did the 7, that would cover 3, 3, and 1.
It would not cover the 2s. If we say,
You would have to say 8.
That'd be 8.
so we could say a maximum of 8, that way there are only 2 full 3-year terms.
But if there's some person on there that's really doing a great job.
Do we want to kick them off?
Probably when you look at it.
No.
Why don't we, for now, not do it, and then we can come back later?
I'm good with that. If you all are good, I'll ask for a motion. If there's not one, that means it don't happen.
You know, we have the authority, you know, if someone's not doing a good job, even in mid-term, we have the authority to remove even in mid-term if someone is really, they're not attending meetings, when they come, they're not participating, they show no interest. Do we not have authority even to remove even in midterm if someone is just totally neglectful, showing no interest whatsoever?
It's a question for Gary, but since they appointed him, are they?
Well, no, I'm not talking,
And I'd have to look into that, I mean, because the
Okay.
problem is, this is, an ABC board is its own organization and it's actually a separate political jurisdiction, so, sounds to me like there are problems.
I'm gonna back up on what I just said, because I'm thinking now of advisory committees in general, as opposed to just the ABC board, so I wanna restate that, and no, I don't, you know, when I was reading that Article 47, I believe it is, or whatever it was that we were given, it seemed like we were pretty much stuck, when we appoint someone, we're pretty much, and I hate to use that word, but I'll say it, if it's someone that's not doing a good job, we're pretty much stuck with them until reappointment time, when we just don't simply reappoint them.
Well, that board can kick them off too.
Uh,
for cause.
Okay, I'm not sure that, okay, I'll say so.
I do think that at some point, you need some new life on different boards. And so without having term limits once it's established, I think that's wide open. And so I like the idea of having some term limits on the board, and allowing us, at least at this point, as we establish this, to set up, you know, what those parameters are. I would assume, and again, I would much rather for council to check into whether or not we can, later on down the road, if it becomes a problem, we can't find enough people that wants to serve on the ABC board to remove those term limits, than rather to start off without kind of that framework.
The term limits are different.
8. So with that, I'll make a motion that we establish term limits of no more than
service.
8 years of continuous service.
And this concerns just the ABC board.
Correct.
Motion's been made by Mayor Pro Tem T. Ross Young that no person can serve on the ABC board for any term longer than 8 continuous years without interruption. Is there a second? Seconded by Paul Hinkle. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Is there any, the person that's elected for 3 years, theirs just stays 3 years continuous?
That would be,
Six.
that, if they follow the rule of elected to a full term, then they get 2 terms of 6 without a leave and then if needed coming back later.
But as T. Ross mentioned, and this is what brought me comfort to accept it, was that, you know, if we do have difficulty, we have someone good, and we have difficulty finding someone to replace a good individual, you know, we will reserve the right to avoid that, those term limits and move forward with, at that time, I guess, no term limits at all.
I also concur with that thought process. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Before we continue on to another board appointment, can we establish a council member to be an advisory person to the ABC board?
That is some conflict of interest, meaning that Gary, you have to correct me if I speak out of turn here, please, but if we had an advisory person on the board, they would merely be there as a witness. They could not inject any values from our board as far as changing their policy or rules. Likewise, that board member couldn't come here and then make motions for that benefit of the ABC board. I do think that we all, at least in the initial year, should be as active as we possibly can with the board, but am I not correct in the way I worded that?
Yeah, they're pretty much a separate entity.
You know, any of us can attend the meetings,
Right.
whether advisory, you know, appointed advisory or not, and if we did, you're right, they would only be able to sit in and listen, same thing as if any of the rest of us wanted, or anybody out there chose to attend the meeting.
Correct.
They're open meetings, and, so, you know, that's, if anyone's interested in that, they're certainly welcome to attend each and every meeting, and they will be posted just like any other called meeting or regular scheduled meeting. So that's why I made the statement last time that I would recommend we do it, because they are a separate entity, and, you know, I'm at the point, you know, let's get some good people, and let's run with this thing and get something done, established hopefully before the end of the year, if not by the end of the year. And, our interest is really not just appointment and electing or appointing the chairman. Beyond that, all we can do is listen anyhow. And, I would hope maybe once in a while, we may put it on our schedule to ask the chairman to, do a report, kind of like the library, Friends in the library, and Parks and Rec, maybe a report, if not every month, at least every quarter.
I was just getting ready to say, I can't speak for Statesville ABC. I know Mooresville ABC does a quarterly review with their board, at which time they discuss how much funds was distributed. But like you, I agree, and at least initially, I think we have to have a little more presence than maybe we will expect down the road. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to the second part of the board amendments. Planning board, 1 member for ETJ alternate, The recommendation of county commissioners to appoint a term which shall expire September 2nd, 2017. We still don't have an application for that, correct?
Correct.
That means we cannot take any action unless you all plan on drafting somebody.
Come back in.
Yes.
Somebody came in.
Adam?
Need to lock her in somebody's office.
Somebody
Are
came in.
there any comments from town council?
Number one, offer that, particularly for folks who are in the room, if you or somebody you know would like to serve, we'd love to have them serve on that board. So,
And that is outside.
Yes,
Yes.
outside the city limits.
It can be anywhere outside, it doesn't have to be in my province.
Any additional comments from town council? From the mayor's seat, I would like to thank all of you for your patience and your kindness in my first month in service to you as mayor. I especially would like to thank Ann Bailey, who has answered my call after midnight a few times, has definitely answered my call every time, but I have to admit to all y'all, I have called her after midnight just because stuff bothered me. And she has been very kind in helping me in my transition as the mayor. I think each board member up here, not one of them has laughed in my face yet when I say stuff. Paul Hinkle and T. Ross especially have been kind in helping me with thoughts and opinions and sharing their thoughts and opinion, as every town board member has. We've got a lot of good things happening in Troutman, and I really think that with everybody's effort that has been given the last month, even though I won't call Ann after midnight unless it's emergency anymore, I really think that if we continue working as hard the next 47 months as we have this past one, then all of you all see benefit of what's been happening, and I just sincerely want to thank everyone.
I did want to mention one thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please do.
As I did last year, appreciate Erica reminding me of this. Monday we'll be celebrating MLK Day, and so I encourage folks to get out, do things in the community, as well as, I think Statesville still has their MLK celebration, as well as various communities around the border communities. So please get out and celebrate the real meaning of what Dr. King did for the country. So thank you.
Yes, indeed. At this time, I turn it over to Town Manager Ann Bailey.
Thank you, and I'm going to turn it over to Planning Director Erica Martin to bring us up to speed on our strategic planning exercises and the upcoming retreat.
Thank you. So at your places, there's a little stapled packet I put together. The back two sheets are the workshops that both council did and staff did, so you can see how we compared. And then the next sheet says Town of Troutman 2016-2018 Action Plan, and it's sort of the merging of those two ideas, or the two groups, to see how we can work together as a team over the next few years. And based on all the things that we want to do as an organization, I put together what I thought we might want to consider for the retreat, which is the first page, which would be doing a lot with a little, or funding all of our dreams. Second would be recreating Main Street, downtown and beyond. Third, attracting what we want, becoming the cool place. And finally, into the weeds, or a lightning round. The School of Government would like to talk with us about planning for the retreat. They'd like Ann, myself, the mayor, and one council member to be part of a conference call. So is there anyone particularly interested in joining in on this conference call? Like to volunteer this evening?
I'm more than willing to volunteer.
Thank you. All right, well, that's all I have to say.
And if you have any thoughts on the tentative agenda, please let us know. I think it covers everything that you talked about in your group, that staff talked about in its group, and it's a good meshing of both sets of ideas, so please let us know. And that's all I have.
Any other comments from the town board? At this time, as Is there a motion to go into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A4 to discuss matters pertaining to economic development, North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3 to consult with attorney, and North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11-5AI to discuss acquisition of real property.
I will move with a small break in between.
Small break before closed session begins. Motion's made to do this, but take a small break first. Is there a second? Second.
Jim, second.
Second by Paul Hinkle. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to announce to everyone out there, please note that there may be public action taken following our closed session. And we also ask that the following people: Mike Todd, Steve Shealy, Kim Davis, Erica Martin, and Ann Bailey, along with Town Council Gary Thomas, remain for closed session. Everyone else, we ask you to take a long break. Long as you be 10 minutes, it might be a half hour.
Good luck.
Thanks, Adam.
Yes, ma'am, I'm gone.
All right,
We'll see y'all on Friday, I guess.
okay.
So you need any explanation tonight?
It takes a long time to get